Hi. As an officer, I not only found out about who's bringing in the drugs, but I also found out who was bringing in the phones in the jail. This officer has constant contact with a lot of inmates, a lot of inmates. And I'll tell you a story. One night, I was on post. I was in the West, and it was late. I did my tour and I sat down. I was I was writing in my book. I'm hearing an inmate talking. I'm like, what is the inmate talking? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm looking. I looked over there, and you know, they're in bed underneath the covers. So I'm like, okay. But then he started talking like he's on the phone with somebody because he was like, "Yo, you hearing me? You hear me?" So I'm like, "No, I couldn't be." So then I went into. I think I knocked on the window and I told her turn on the lights or something like that because it was dark. So I went over to the area that I heard the inmate talking, and I'm walking around searching. Have my flashlight, looking or whatever. I see nothing. I looked at the inmate still under the covers. Because I guess he looked and saw I was walking, so. So I said, and then I'm looking around at in the vicinity where I heard the phone. I'm like, I know this motherfucker see me here, and. So anyway, I searched. I didn't find anything. So like they was switching me from post to post, whatever. So I started to get to know and get to, talk to inmates. Sometimes I would see some of the gay inmates and they would talk to me and tell me, what's going on. And, or I would talk to some of the regular inmates. And, one time one of the inmates was to, one of the gay inmates was like, telling me the story about why he was in there, and he said that he wanted to get his shots and his pills and stuff because he wanted to transform, to get his breath and whatever. And it's too expensive outside, so he did a little crime so they can send him in and he can get his pills and stuff like that. So as an officer, you get to talk to the regular people in the hallways or in the street or whatever, because I wasn't really talking to hardly any of the officers or whatever. At that time, I was watching everybody. So then about a year or so passed. But I remember I was working with this officer. They put me in this area one time, and this officer had phone problems. They would leave it on top of the desk, and the captain be walking, and I have to go hide it for them or whatever, whatever. So you just think it's just regular stuff like that. So as time goes on, you would hear little hints and little noise with the inmates. So as a B officer, you just sit and well, for me, I don't know what other B officers do if they pay attention to it. But I paid attention even though I didn't look like I was paying attention. I'm listening to what they saying. I'm watching and I'm listening. So they talking about who's bringing in the phone and the person gonna bring. But yeah, I found out who was bringing in the phone.